My fiancée just told me she's engaged to someone else. I'm lost. Not sure where to start with this mess, but I need to get it out somewhere. Throwaway for obvious reasons. Been with Kayla for 4 years, living together for 2. We got engaged back in February, nothing fancy, but I saved up for months for a decent ring. She wanted a church wedding next fall, and honestly, I was excited about it. Both our families were supportive. Her mom already started planning, the whole 9 yards. I work as a union electrician here in Columbus, been pulling extra shifts since the engagement to build up our wedding fund. Kayla's a physical therapist at one of those sports medicine places downtown. We had a solid thing going, shared a duplex near German Village, talked about kids someday, the usual stuff couples plan for. Last Tuesday night changed everything. I was watching the game after a long day on a commercial job, and Kayla came home acting weird, like nervous weird, sat down next to me and started with, "We need to talk." You know that feeling when your stomach just drops? Yeah. She sat down on the edge of the couch, hands folded in her lap, wouldn't look directly at me. "I ran into Hunter a few weeks ago," she started. "You remember from high school?" "Yeah, I remember." I mute the TV. "What about him?" "We've been talking since March." She was picking at her fingernails now. "Just catching up at first, coffee, lunch, old friends reconnecting." I felt something cold settle in my stomach. "Kayla, what are you telling me? He proposed 3 days ago." The words came out in a rush. "And I said yes." For a second I thought I'd heard wrong. I was staring at her, she still wasn't looking at me, and I could see my ring still sitting on her finger while she was telling me she was engaged to someone else. "You said yes." My voice sounded weird, like it was coming from someone else. "To another guy's proposal. It just happened, Noah. We have so much history, and it felt like fate, like we were meant to find each other again." She finally looked up at me, and there were tears in her eyes, but she also got this almost excited expression, like she was expecting me to be happy for her. I looked down at her hands. "Take off my ring." "What? Take off my ring right now?" I stood up, and she actually leaned back like I might hit her or something. "You don't get to wear my ring while you're engaged to someone else." "Noah, wait, let me explain." "Explain what?" "You've been cheating on me for months, and now you're engaged to him. What's left to explain?" "I wasn't cheating, we were just talking until when? Until he put a ring on your finger." I could hear my voice getting louder, but I couldn't help it. "Jesus Christ, Kayla, the ring, take it off." Her hands were shaking as she twisted it off. She held it out to me. 4 months of overtime shifts to pay for that thing. "I need you to pack a bag and leave," I said, taking the ring. "Tonight. Give me an hour to go for a drive, and when I come back I want you gone." "Noah, please, can't we just talk about this?" "Talk about what? You made your choice. Go be with your destiny or whatever this is." Then I walked out. Her family's been blowing up my phone since. Her mom texted me yesterday saying I should be happy for Kayla's destiny, and that true love finds a way. Her dad called me immature for not understanding the power of first love. Like I'm the bad guy here for not wanting to share my fiancée with her high school sweetheart. I've been staying at my sister's place the past few nights. Mia's been great. She's letting me crash in her spare room and mostly just listens when I need to vent. She thinks I did the right thing, but I keep second-guessing. The worst part is wondering how long this was really going on. She said they only started talking in March, but was she already checked out of our relationship before that? Were there signs I missed? I keep replaying conversations, looking for clues I should have picked up on. I'm supposed to work a double shift tomorrow, and I can barely concentrate on anything. My foreman asked if everything was okay because apparently I looked like hell during yesterday's safety meeting. Don't really know what to tell people when they ask. Has anyone been through something like this? I'm 31, most of my friends are married with kids already, and I thought I was on that track too. Now I'm crashing at my sister's house feeling like I'm back in college or something. Sorry for the novel. Just needed to get this out somewhere people might understand. Edit. Thanks everyone for the support. Reading these comments is helping more than you know. To answer some common questions, yes, I'm keeping the ring, paid for it, might as well get something back. And no, I haven't talked to her since Tuesday. Blocked her number after her family started their guilt trip campaign. A few people asked about the timeline. We got engaged in February. She claims she started talking to this Hunter guy in March. So yeah, 1 month after accepting my proposal, she was already reconnecting with her ex. Make of that what you will. Update 1. Posted 3 weeks later. Hey everyone. Posted about 3 weeks ago when my fiancée left me for her high school boyfriend. The support from you guys has been incredible, honestly. Figured I'd give you an update since things have gotten even more bizarre. First off, I'm doing better. Still staying with my sister Mia. She said I could use some emotional support from her instead of being alone in my apartment. I've been throwing myself into work and it's helping. Picked up every overtime shift I could get, and the union's been great about keeping me busy. There's something therapeutic about running new electrical lines. Everything has a purpose. Everything connects logically. No room for the kind of emotional chaos I've been dealing with. Got my ring back from the jeweler where I bought it. They couldn't give me full price obviously, but I got enough back to upgrade some of my tools. Bought a new multimeter and some specialized conduit benders I'd been wanting. Figured if I was starting over, might as well invest in my trade. I also started volunteering with Habitat for Humanity on weekends. Mia suggested it, said I needed something positive to focus on. It's been good getting back to basics, helping families who really need it. Plus, working with my hands in a different context has been therapeutic. But here's why I'm really posting an update. Last Friday, Kayla and Hunter's engagement photos hit Facebook. Professional photographer, matching outfits, the whole production. Her mom shared them with some caption about true love conquering all and God's plan revealing itself. I only saw them because Mia showed me. I'd already blocked Kayla everywhere. Then Sunday happened. I was getting ready to head to a Habitat build when my phone buzzed with a text from a number I didn't recognize. It was Kayla, using someone else's phone. The message was basically asking if I could help her out with a few $1,000s to secure their wedding venue. Apparently Hunter was having some cash flow issues with his construction business, and they were about to lose their deposit on some fancy place. But wait, it got better. She also asked if I could put my name on a rental agreement for their lighting setup because I could get a union discount through the IBEW. You know, use my professional connections to help finance the wedding to replace me. The freaking audacity. I screenshot the messages and sent them to Mia before responding. Wanted someone else to see this in case I was losing my mind. Mia confirmed that yes, this was as insane as I thought. I texted back, no, find another way. You have a fiancé and both your families supporting this destiny. Figure it out. Then I blocked that number too, but she didn't stop there. Tuesday night, different number, another message. This time it was all about how I'm a good person and how she knows I'd want to help because that's who I am. Like she's doing me a favor by giving me the chance to fund her new life. The messages kept coming. Different numbers, same basic request. Sometimes it was about the venue deposit, sometimes about catering, once about needing help with vendor contracts because Hunter's credit wasn't great. Always framed like I should be grateful for the opportunity to be involved. At some point, I lost track of how many numbers I'd had to block. My sister thought I should respond one more time, make it crystal clear that this stopped now. She helped me draft something professional but firm. Sent it Thursday. I will not be providing financial assistance or professional services for your wedding. Do not contact me again through any method, or I will take legal action. I wish you well, but we're done. The thing that really gets me is how she's positioning this. Like I'm being unreasonable for not wanting to help plan and pay for the wedding that ended our relationship. Her family's messages all have the same tone, like I'm being petty and small-minded for not embracing this beautiful development in her life. I've been keeping records of all the contact attempts. Mia suggested it, said if this escalates I might need them. Really hoping it doesn't come to that, but her behavior has been so far outside normal that I'm not sure what to expect anymore. Work's been my saving grace through all this. There's something clean about electrical problems. They have solutions, they follow logic, you fix them and move on. I got promoted to a lead position on a big hospital renovation project. Good pay, good crew keeps my mind busy. The Habitat volunteering has been great too. Met some solid people there, folks who have been through real hardship and come out stronger. Puts this whole situation in perspective. One of the regular volunteers, this woman Harper who coordinates the program, mentioned they always need people with electrical skills. It's nice feeling useful again. Still processing everything, but I'm getting there. Some days are harder than others, but I'm starting to see this as dodging a bullet rather than losing something. If someone can throw away 4 years that easily, they were never really committed in the first place. Edit, yes, I'm keeping screenshots of everything. And yes, I realize how insane this all sounds. Trust me, living it is even weirder than reading about it. Update 2, posted 6 months later. Hey Reddit, I'm back again. And I have some update for you guys. 6 months of silence from Kayla and her family. I'd actually started to think the whole thing was behind me. Work's been great, finished that hospital project I mentioned, got another promotion, now I'm training apprentices. The Habitat volunteering turned into something more serious too. Harper, the program coordinator I mentioned, and I started grabbing coffee after build days. Nothing rushed, nothing dramatic, just two adults getting to know each other. She knew about my situation but didn't make it weird or try to fix me. Refreshing as hell after the emotional tornado I'd been through. I'd moved back into my apartment from Mia's place. Finally felt like I was starting to rebuild something good. Should have known it was too good to last. Last month, my buddy Jake texted me asking if I'd heard about Kayla and Hunter. I hadn't, still had them blocked everywhere, so he filled me in. Turns out Prince Charming wasn't so charming after all. According to mutual friends, Hunter had been cheating. Not just once, but with multiple women over the past few months. Kayla found out when one of them contacted her directly with receipts, photos, hotel receipts, the works. When she confronted him, things got ugly fast. Like neighbors calling the police ugly. She ended up with a bruise on her arm and a police report. Jake said she moved back in with her parents and the engagement was off. The whole destiny narrative her family had been pushing collapsed overnight. Suddenly their golden boy wasn't looking so golden. I'll admit, part of me felt vindicated. The guy who was supposedly her true love turned out to be exactly the kind of asshole you'd expect someone to be who convinces an engaged woman to leave her fiancé. But mostly I just felt sad for her. Nobody deserves to get hit, no matter how stupidly they've been acting. But it wasn't my problem anymore. So I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. 2 weeks ago, my voicemail started filling up. Kayla, using another number yet again, leaving long, rambling messages. The first few were apologies. She was sorry for how things ended, sorry for the wedding request, sorry for everything. Then they shifted to her explaining what happened with Hunter like I needed the details. Then they got weird. She started talking about how she'd realized what she'd lost when she left me. How Hunter made her see how stable and genuine I was by contrast. How she'd been blinded by nostalgia, and now she understood what real love looked like. Classic grass is greener bullshit, but in reverse. The messages kept coming. Sometimes 2 or 3 a day. Always when I was at work, like she was timing them for when she knew I wouldn't answer. She'd go from apologetic to angry to desperate, sometimes within the same voicemail. One message really stood out. She said she'd been talking to her therapist about relationship patterns and realized she'd made a mistake. Said she wanted to explore the possibility of reconciliation. Like we were negotiating a business deal instead of talking about the 4 years she'd thrown away for a guy who cheated and went violent when caught. I didn't respond to any of it. Mia and Harper both said I was doing the right thing by staying quiet, but Kayla wasn't done. Last Saturday morning, I was having coffee with Harper on my apartment balcony when there was a knock at the door. Harper looked at me, I looked at her. Neither of us was expecting anyone. I opened the door and there was Kayla, looking like she'd been crying. Before I could say anything, she launched into this speech about how sorry she was, how she'd made the biggest mistake of her life, how she wanted to work through this together. She looked terrible, thinner than I remembered, dark circles under her eyes, just defeated. Harper came up behind me, didn't say anything, just stood there. Kayla's eyes went to her, then back to me, and I could see the reality hitting her. That I'd moved on. That there was someone else in the picture. I kept it short. Kayla, I'm glad you're safe, and I hope you're getting help dealing with what Hunter did to you. But we're done. That ended the night you told me you were engaged to someone else. She started crying, asking if we could just talk, just for a few minutes. I almost felt bad for her, but the woman standing at my door wasn't the same person I'd lived with for 2 years. Or maybe she was, and I'd just never seen this side of her before. I can forgive you for my own peace of mind, I told her, but that doesn't mean I'm taking you back. Please leave. She looked at Harper again, then back at me. Are you serious right now? You're going to throw away everything we built for someone you barely know? That's when it clicked. She didn't miss me or our relationship. She missed having me as a backup plan. When her upgrade fell through, she wanted to return to the stable guy who'd take care of her. The guy who'd work overtime to pay for her dreams and never cheat on her or hit her. I'm not throwing anything away, I said. You already did that. You made your choice. You chose what you thought would make you happier and it didn't work out. That's not my problem to solve. Take care of yourself, Kayla. I closed the door. She knocked a few more times, tried calling my name through the door, but eventually left. Haven't heard from her since. Harper and I talked for a long time after that. She was incredible about the whole thing, didn't make it about her, didn't ask a bunch of questions, just listened when I needed to process what had happened. We've been taking things slow, but she's become really important to me. She's got her own life, her own career, doesn't need me to complete her or fix her or fund her dreams, just wants to build something good together. Kayla's family hasn't contacted me since everything fell apart with Hunter. No more texts about destiny or true love. Funny how that works. I'm in a good place now. Better than good, actually. Work's going great. I'm making a real difference with Habitat. And Harper and I are talking about getting a bigger place together next year. Maybe with a little yard where I can finally try my hand at gardening. Sometimes the best thing that can happen is having someone show you exactly why you deserve better. Final update. Posted 3 months later. Hey everyone. Never thought I'd be back here, but one last weird chapter to this story that I wanted to share. Then I'm really done with all this. Things have been really good. Harper and I found a great 2-bedroom place with a small balcony where I've been trying to grow tomatoes and peppers. Turns out I'm decent at it, who knew? Work's been solid too. Got selected to lead the electrical team on a new apartment complex project, which is a big step up responsibility-wise. The apprentices I'm training are good kids, reminds me why I love this trade. But last weekend, one final visit from the past. Saturday morning, Harper and I were having breakfast when there was a knock at the door. I looked through the peephole and saw Kayla with an older woman I recognized as her mother. My stomach literally dropped. I'd hoped we were past all this. Harper saw my face and asked if I wanted her to answer the door. That's one of the things I love about her. She doesn't try to control situations, just offers support and lets me decide how to handle things. I opened the door and Kayla's mom immediately started talking. Something about how they'd both done a lot of soul searching and wanted to clear the air. Kayla looked better than she had a few months ago, healthier, like she'd been taking care of herself. But there was still something desperate in her eyes. Noah, her mom said, Kayla has something she wants to tell you. Kayla stepped forward and started what sounded like a rehearsed speech. She talked about therapy, about recognizing her patterns, about understanding now what she'd thrown away. According to her, she'd already checked out of her relationship with Hunter, even before finding out about the affairs, even before he hit her. By then, she had already realized her mistake. Standard stuff. Then came the ask. She wanted to know if I'd be willing to start fresh. Not get back together immediately, but maybe grab coffee sometime and see if there was still something worth saving. Her mom jumped in to say how Kayla had grown so much and learned to appreciate stability. Harper was in the kitchen, close enough to hear but giving me space to handle it. I could feel her presence, but she wasn't hovering or trying to insert herself into the conversation. I looked at Kayla for a long moment, then at her mom. I'm going to be completely honest with both of you, I said. Kayla, you didn't realize what we had was special. You realized the new guy didn't work out and you wanted to come back to your backup plan. There's a difference. Kayla started to interrupt, but I kept going. You don't miss me. You miss the idea of having someone who won't hurt you or cheat on you. But that's not love, that's just wanting security. And I'm not interested in being anyone's safe option. Her mom got defensive. Noah, that's not fair. She made a mistake, but people grow and change. You're right, I said. People do change. I changed. I learned that I deserve someone who chooses me first, not someone who settles for me after their first choice doesn't work out. I looked at Kayla again. I forgive you for my own peace of mind, but we're not getting back together. Not now, not ever. You're going to be fine, you'll figure your life out, but you'll figure it out without me. Kayla's eyes filled up with tears. So that's it. 4 years means nothing to you. Those 4 years meant everything to me at the time, I said. But they ended the night you told me you were engaged to someone else. What happened after that isn't on me. Harper appeared beside me then, not possessively, just naturally, like she belonged there. She didn't say anything to Kayla or her mom, just put her hand on my shoulder. That's when it really hit Kayla, I think, that I wasn't just rejecting her, I was actively choosing someone else. Someone who'd never asked me to be anything other than myself. They left after that. No dramatics, no final pleas. Just two women walking back to their car, probably finally understanding that some bridges can't be rebuilt once they're burned. Harper and I spent the rest of the morning working in our little garden. She didn't ask for details about the conversation or need reassurance about our relationship. She just handed me the watering can and asked if I thought the tomatoes were ready for bigger pots. That evening, I got a text from Mia. Apparently word had gotten around about Kayla's visit and she wanted to check on me. How do you feel? She asked. Honestly, I felt lighter, like I'd finally closed a door that had been hanging open for months. Mia told me later what she'd heard through mutual friends. Apparently, Kayla's whole social circle had turned pretty cold after everything came out. People don't like being made to look foolish, and a lot of them had defended her true love story publicly. Her family went quiet on social media after months of posting about destiny and God's plan. Her mom, who'd been so vocal about Kayla's growth and lessons learned, stopped showing up to community events where she might run into people who knew the whole story. Kayla ended up moving to Cincinnati for a fresh start. New job, new apartment, new everything. Sometimes that's what it takes when you've burned through all your credibility in one place. A few days later, Harper and I were talking about getting a dog. Nothing crazy, just a medium-sized mutt from the shelter. Maybe something good with kids since we both volunteer with Habitat and there are always families around. The conversation was easy, natural, full of possibilities instead of complications. That's where I'm at now. Building a life that feels like home, with someone who wants to build it with me. No drama, no second guessing, no wondering if I'm someone's first choice or backup plan. Thanks to everyone who followed this story from the beginning. Time to close this throwaway account and focus on the good stuff that's ahead.